Hiya, I'm Ed Zed, and this is programme 1 of the Enterprise Zone. Now, it's a simple game. Every school taking part has to get me to the top of the stairs and into the zone by lighting every step along the way. That means coming up with a fantastic enterprising idea and seeing it through to the end. It's the tip-top, cream of the crop, climb to the top. There are no shortcuts to the summit, and only the best will do. Now, over to Doogie Vipon to meet today's school on the Enterprise Zone.
Today's contestants are New Abbey Primary School.
Our school was built in 1975. We have 48 pupils and 2 teaching staff. Last year, we were runners-up in the Daily Telegraph school newspaper competition.
Our school is in New Abbey. New Abbey is a small village, 7 miles south of Dumfries. 350 people live there.
This is Edinburgh.
This is Dumfries.
This is New Abbey.
There will be 24 pupils from a composite class of Primary 4 to Primary 7 involved in this enterprise project, led by their head teacher, Mrs Simpson, with help from support teacher, Mrs Armitage.
Now we know who they are, let's get on with the game. The first step's flashing, so it's time to answer the big question. What is enterprise?
What is enterprise? What do you think enterprise means? Jennifer?
Is it thinking of things and then you think you're not able to do them, but then you manage to do them in the end?
Well, I think that's a pretty good answer. It's actually what this phrase says. We're going to try something that's pretty difficult. And at the moment, we might think it will never, ever happen, but it can happen.
What sort of things do we have to do to make sure that our enterprise is going to succeed?
Elizabeth?
Going to work together.
We're going to work together, we're going to cooperate, work together. Now, I have a worksheet here, and it is a word search. And in this word search, there are key words to do with enterprise, words that we're going to use many times over the next few weeks as we get into our enterprise and then finally complete it. What was number 1, Fraser?
People.
1, people. Very important. Without people, we can't do it. 2, Joel.
Money. Space. Materials. Skills. A skill is a type of work or technique which requires special training and knowledge.
Resources.
Resources are materials, money or skills available for use.
Market.
To plan and supervise the selling of a product.
Now, this morning you've learnt lots of things about enterprise, and these words you're going to be using a lot. So we're now ready to go on to the next stage.
They most certainly are. That was a superb start by New Abbey. They really understand what this game's all about. Now, to get me through step 2, they had to decide, what will we do?
I thought, you've won the lottery. Many? 4, 5, 6 million pounds. And we're going to use some of this money to improve New Abbey Village. Come on, some ideas.
A rugby pitch.
A swimming pool.
Oh, this is it.
A cinema.
A chip shop.
Drag racing course.
You could have a Subway.
I'm going to have to disappoint you. We just haven't got £5 million. Unless Fraser has a lot of luck this Saturday night, I think we'll have to think of other things to improve our village.
So now it's on with the jackets and heading out into the streets of New Abbey to find out what the villagers think will benefit the community.
Right, lack of summer seats.
In your opinion, what small things should be done to improve the community of New Abbey?
Well, we could do with some nice seating for the elderly.
In your opinion, what small things could be done to improve the community of New Abbey?
And although it's pleasant to sit here and watch the traffic going by, we could do a wee bit more secluded place, perhaps down by the school.
And then it's back to the school to report on what we found.
The bus shelter down at the bottom of the road down there, it's messed up and there's lots of graffiti on it, and I think it could be painted.
Right, good. Fraser.
I think we need some more summer seats for the old people for when they're walking.
Andrew.
I think we need more litter bins because a lot of the teenagers drop a lot of litter at times.
Right, I did notice that as well. Now, you made an interesting point there about no seated areas, or very few seated areas. And you mentioned the old people. Now, the old people in this village help this school very, very much indeed. It would be quite nice if we helped them. Now, where do you think we could put a seated area to help the old people?
Down by the pond.
The pond area just as you come into the playground?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good idea. We could improve the pond area for use of the school and also for community use as well. So I think our enterprise will be renovating the pond area at our school.
So here it is, the pond in the grounds of New Abbey Primary School. Pretty disgusting, isn't it? Actually, it's been here since the 50s, but it's been like this, derelict for many years. So the job is to tidy it all up and to create an area which can be enjoyed by both pupils and members of the local community. Pretty big job though, isn't it?
You're not joking, and your shoes are going to need a bit of the old spit and polish after being in there. So, New Abbey have decided to carry out a community enterprise. But to do this properly, they need to form a company.
Now, I want some good ideas for a company, because we will have a vote on who's decided on the best name.
NAG, New Abbey Gardening Service. New Abbey Gardeners.
NAG, New Abbey Gardeners Association.
CL, Criffle Landscapers. New Abbey Landscaping Company. Pansies.
Help. Happy, enthusiastic learning pupils.
Dun, 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 dun. No, just sit back. Sit back. Well, 9. Pick for number 9.
And 11 for number 6.
So, our company name is Criffle Landscapers.
I know what a landscaper is, but what on earth is a criffle?
Criffle is a hill that overlooks our school. It is 1,867 foot high.
Oh, yeah, Criffle's a hill. Knew it all the time, just testing you. Now, who's going to run this company?
The pupils have set up a job centre in the classroom advertising the vacancies within Criffle Landscapers, and today they must decide which jobs to apply for. Filling in forms is quite straightforward, but the next bit, going for an interview, can be really tricky. So how did they prepare for that?
My mum pretended that she was the interviewer. I practiced with my dad last night. I had a word with Mum and Dad. I practiced with my sister. I got my dad to use his camera last night, so it gave me more confidence.
Have a seat.
Well, let's see if practice makes perfect. It's interview time.
Thank you for attending. Welcome. I'm Terry West, and this is Anne Simpson, and we'll be conducting the interviews.
And my question is, why do you think you're the best person for this job?
I'm very good at talking, and I think I'd be very good at handling the media and things like that.
Can you tell us a little bit about the skills you think that are needed for this particular job?
Working with to make a team of young talented children.
Are you members of any organisations or where you're working with people?
I'm in the guides and I'm a seconder.
Can you tell us a little bit about your interests, your hobbies?
I like tree climbing, walking, reading.
Do you have any questions you would like to ask us then?
I would like to ask, can you reassure me that we'll have enough money to carry out? We will have.
Of course, not every interviewee can be a director, but those who are will need a team to work with. So there's a job for everyone with Criffel Landscapers. Let's see who's in charge.
My name is Tussin Barrett and I am the design director for our enterprise project. I am in charge of how the pond area will look when it is finished.
My name is Brodie Rippingale and I'm the head gardener. I have to look after all the tools and lead my gardening team.
My name is John Grierson. I'm the financial director of Criffel Landscapers. My job is to look after the money. My name is Elizabeth White and I'm the publicity director. My job is to contact all the media and see if they're interested in our project.
My name is Fraser Bowles. I'm the personnel director and I make sure that all their groups are going on okay.
My name is Jennifer Lyon and I'm the managing director of our company, Criffel Landscapers. I'm in overall charge of our enterprise project.
Brilliant. The company's well on its way, and so am I. On to the next step. Now, if you're going to run a community enterprise, everybody's got to know about it. And that means communication.
That's right. Today, 1 week into their project, Criffel Landscapers are writing to local and national companies, asking if they'd like to help out. Each landscaper takes a card with the name of the person or organisation they're to write to.
Who's that?
My dad.
Right, but you don't write Dear Dad, okay? Dear Mr. Baxter.
This is Mr. Chris Boston.
He's ICI.
And Tracy, we would like you to write to Mrs. Robertson as Secretary of the PTA.
Well, that's Richard Branson, you know.
Texas.
Texas.
Young Offenders Institution. Solway Heritage.
Glaxo, that's right. That's a big company at Annan.
Dear Baird Stevenson.
Dear Richard Branson.
Dear Shell UK Limited.
My name is Jennifer Lyon. I am a pupil at Abbey Primary School. We have formed a
grateful if you would help us to build our pond area by helping us financially or in kind.
Financial director, so I am really writing to ask if you could kindly give us a small donation of money.
We'd like to start on the pond area soon, so a quick note saying yes or no would be very much appreciated.
Yours sincerely, Ricky Baxter, P6, age 10.
Cool. There's more to this communication than meets the eye. I hope it's worth the wait.
It's now 5 weeks since New Abbey's enterprise project began, and although the pond area hasn't been touched, Criffel Landscapers have been busy. Replies to their letters have been mostly positive so far, and sponsors have donated over £300. The pupils have organised a management meeting to discuss how the project is going.
Now I'll call on Tristan Barrett and Hal Jacob, the design director.
We've had a great response as far as design is concerned. Already Mr. Stuart Spray from Solway Wetlands Trust is trying to come to talk to some of us about the environmental aspects of the pond area.
The publicity we have already had was in the Standard. It was an article and a photograph of primary 4, 5, 6 and 7 sitting around the pond areas as it is just now. Everyone is working fairly well in the teams, but there are 1 or 2 people in the groups who are not cooperating and just annoying people. There are 3 people who are being watched in particular and have already been in trouble.
So far, we have a £30 voucher from Heath Hall Garden Centre, plants from Neverfield Fruit Farm and Garden Wise, and a planter from Texas.
Now, seeing as it's a community thing, do we want to have an official opening and have somebody quite famous open it?
Let's go round. Who would you like to open it?
Oasis.
Oasis, the whole group.
Anthea Turner.
Indifferent.
Oh, you're indifferent. Oh,
Louisa used to be in a Eternal.
is that a group?
Hey, they could have asked me.
Yeah, sure. Meanwhile, Tristram has volunteered to phone the bank.
And I'd like to make an appointment with the manager for a small business loan and to present a business plan.
Is there any particular day that would suit you?
Would Tuesday be okay?
Yes, how about 10:30 in the morning?
Fine.
That's fine then. Thanks very much for calling. Bye.
Bye, thanks.
Here, they show their business plan, deposit money into their account and receive a further boost.
We also give you a £40 grant from the Bank of Scotland, so you'll see that credit to your account as well.
I knew all that communication would be worth it. At last, time to move on to another step. But you can't rush a big job like this. What you need is preparation.
One of the first people to offer advice is Stuart Spray from Solway Heritage Wetlands Trust.
So the aim this afternoon is actually to try and map your garden, make a sort of a sketch map of the garden, because before we can decide what we're actually going to put into the garden, we've got to know what we've already got there. Okay?
No! I love the hedge here and up to the end.
12.5 to the corner. Just here we've got an ash tree. Ash is good for wildlife as well. You can tell it's ash because it's got little black buds. Can you see the black ends there? Yeah, it's one of the easiest trees to identify because of those black buds. And rhododendron, as I was saying, it's not as good for wildlife as some of these other trees you've got here.
So just Rhodey bush.
Rhodey bush, that'll be fine, yeah.
7.
With the help of local technical teacher Dick Knox, the landscapers use these measurements to create a scale drawing of the pond area and what they want to have in it.
What are you going to put in here?
Benches and bins.
Ricky.
Chess set.
Oh, a chess set. You're determined to get this chess set in, aren't you? Anything else?
Planters.
Planters.
Crazy paving outside it.
Crazy paving we'll do outside it as well. Okay, so what I want you to do is to actually measure some of these things, some of the benches, and you'll have to cut them out to scale. What scale are you going to make that to?